Welcome back.
Welcome, everyone.
Here we are again.
What's up?
Episode 3 of the You Never Know show where, well, you never know who's going to come on, or I guess you do know, we promoted it, but you never know what we're going to talk about. Episode's a little different this time. Somebody only Rylan knew prior to this. Me and Ross met her about 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Without further ado, we got a mainline dancer, Queen of the Blue, Miss Jenna Vitamanti.
Great pronunciation.
Killed it, Dange. Good shit.
Hey, Jenna, how's it going? There we
Very
go.
nice. You got
There
the
we go.
snap. There you go.
Wanted to make sure I threw it in there.
The snap.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, pretty excited. First guest where I don't know you too well, so I actually have to ask you questions because I don't know the answers already.
Yeah.
First female guest.
Yeah,
First female.
Yeah.
I'm honored.
Yeah.
First girl.
Breaking barriers left and right out here.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess just kind of give us a little just basic, information about yourself. Obviously you go to Boise State and kind of what you do, what year are you, age, stuff like that.
Sweet. I'm excited. Okay, so my name is Jenna Vitamanti. Like you said, I am a junior at Boise State. I'm actually graduating early. I'm graduating next December instead of next May.
Oh, sweet. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm really smart. I am on mainline. That's the dance team at Boise State. I am a media production major, and I'm also getting a certificate in sports information and culture. I'm from Marietta, California. That's in Southern California.
Okay.
Well, that's quite the
951.
Yeah, quite
Oh
the
yeah,
resume
951 baby. Yeah, it's like 40 minutes north of San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was in that area a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Do you like it?
Love San Diego.
No,
know.
I don't live in San Diego.
No, yeah.
Well, I
you
drove-
You weren't in Marietta, Dange.
Well, you said 40 minutes north, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I probably drove through it because we went up to LA for one
Yeah,
day.
you
so-
definitely drove through it. Like you
Okay.
drove through right through my hometown.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing about California I really like is in Idaho, if you drive outside of like Boise or the Treasure Valley, it's all desert and
Yeah,
stuff,
it's
but
ugly.
you always got stuff to look at when you're driving through California.
It's
so.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for around like Bakersfield area.
I guess like SoCal.
Yeah.
SoCal, but
like,
Yeah.
and you get to like Barstow, and then there's
Yeah.
like nothing there.
Literally nothing.
Yeah.
nice.
Same with Bakersfield. Is Temecula considered Marietta?
It's like
Kind
Boise and Meridian.
Okay.
They're like sister cities, so like
Yeah.
10 minutes maybe. I mean, not even, because
Not even that.
my last house in in Marietta, I lived on like kind of almost the outside of Marietta, and so I was right next to Temecula. But Temecula is really, really big. Like it's way bigger than Marietta, I think, just because it has wine country. So there's a bunch of wineries
That's
out
right.
there. There's
There
a
you go.
bunch of acreage
Like
out there.
bigger than Napa Valley?
I don't think it's that big.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah, it's
Temecula
like-
is like the second Napa Valley of California. Like
Definitely.
a lot
Oh,
of people
gotcha.
go to the wineries in Temecula. It's super
For
popular.
sure.
Nice.
Are you still sorry, Dange? Are you still a Marietta person? Are you going back to Marietta when you graduate?
No, no. So right when I graduated high school in 2019, I'm a 2019 grad. My family actually moved out to Georgia in like the Atlanta area. So we're in like the suburbs of Atlanta. There's a bunch of different cities around there. So that's where we live now. And as great of a place Marietta is to be raised and to raise a family, I do not plan on going back.
What brought your family out to Atlanta?
My dad got a job promotion, and so their home office is out there in Atlanta. So
Sweet.
packed up and left, and my family my parents went to high school in my hometown. Like we have lived there our whole lives. So
you were born and raised out there?
yep, born and
Okay.
raised Marietta. We've all lived there. Like I said, my parents went to high school out there. They're not high school sweethearts, but they did go to the same high school. They did know each other.
Damn.
And they met after high school?
No, they knew each other in high school. They dated after high school.
So were they
Yes.
like friends in high school or like mutual?
Yeah, my dad is 2 years older, so when my mom was a sophomore, he was a senior. It was like that kind of vibe,
Yeah.
And then my dad went to Cal Baptist and played baseball out there.
CBU.
CVU, Lancer up, baby.
Nice.
Sweet.
So did they move to Georgia when you were in college then, or like when
the
you graduated?
the summer going into my freshman year.
Oh, okay.
So I basically graduated. I had my grad party. The next day we drove to Georgia and we moved.
Oh,
and
wow.
I
Damn.
basically lived in 3 cities within 2 months. I lived in Georgia for 2 months, and then I went out to Boise and started my freshman year.
Nice.
That's
Pretty
crazy.
cool. Was it pretty hard for them to like just uproot and leave their hometown they've lived in their whole lives?
Yeah, I'd definitely say so. I feel like because they've lived there forever, and my whole family is in Murrieta. Like literally
Oh, so
all
you
of my
still-
extended family except now my immediate, you know. So
okay.
everyone is out there in terms of like my parents' friend groups and all of our families and my sisters. I have 2 younger sisters, so I think it was definitely hard in that sense, like the whole adjustment kind of period.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you if you were a only child or not, and like, why did they wait till like you graduated high school to move out there?
So I think they waited. I think this was something that my parents had kind of gone back and forth about in terms of moving. I called Murrieta Temecula area like a bubble, like nothing really changes and everyone kind of knows everyone.
Just
sort
like
of thing.
Boise, kind of.
Exactly, yeah. And so it kind of made sense timing wise. So I'm the oldest and I was going off to college. So even though it kind of sucked, like I didn't have a senior summer, like it didn't really affect me because I just moved afterwards anyways. And then my sister, she's now a freshman. So it affected her the most, I would say, because she
Freshman
was
in high
going
school?
in college.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't specify that.
No, you're good.
She was going into her junior year. So that was, I think, tough for her.
Yeah.
But in Murrieta, she had already gone to one high school her freshman year and a different high school her sophomore year. So I guess change wasn't like her biggest fear.
She knew the vibe.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And then she ended up going to school junior and senior year of high school, and now she's a freshman in college. And then my youngest sister, she was going into 5th grade. So that I guess that one was a little bit difficult too,
that'd
but
be hard.
she's also very young, so and she's super social, so I feel like timing wise, like it made the most sense for my family.
Yeah, that's probably pretty good, like going right into middle school. You got a lot more
Yeah.
opportunities.
That'd be
with
hard
friends.
though.
'Cause I think it'd be
Yeah.
tougher to move when you're a junior in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Like 5th grade.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I don't,
Probably.
My
That'd be-
sister's way braver than I'd ever be.
I think junior year is kind of like that. No, whether you're in high school or college, like you said, Jenna. Like I think junior year is kind of like that crucial year.
Totally.
Like high school is like, that's where they take your grades for college.
Yep.
Junior year, that's kind of where you're finding out what you really want to like do with your life post grad.
Yeah.
Or you're finding that niche. So that'd be a hard call just on your parents to make and like say like, yeah, we're packing it up. We're going basically across the nation.
Yeah.
And
Essentially.
having to worry about make friends too at the same time.
Totally, yeah.
Like,
It was definitely something that they went back and forth about. Like I said, for years, but when my dad got the offer, it was kind of like, okay, should we do it? And
It's time.
yeah, and we found out in January that we were going to move, and we moved in June. So, but my middle sister, the one that was a junior, she plays softball. So she actually has 3 different varsity letters from 3 different high schools.
Let's go.
So she was okay with moving in the sense of she was like, let's just get another varsity letter, you know?
That's
Yeah,
cool.
that's the one bright side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my family was kind of in the same boat. We've talked about it because I moved from like the Bay Area when I was like 5
Oh,
or 6.
okay.
I mean, so it wasn't as late as you, but
Mm-hmm.
all of their family are still like on that, over there. So it was definitely kind of tough, but they wanted to get out really bad too. So
Yeah.
it's definitely kind of hard. It was harder I was too young, but for them, I know it was really tough.
Yeah.
So you're a mainline dancer at Boise
Yes.
State. Is that what led you to Boise State? Did they like give you scholarship? Like how did that work out?
No.
Do
So
they have scholarship for that?
kind of, not really. It's not the kind of scholarship that you think of. In terms of scholarship, in terms of a Boise State Spirit Squad. So Spirit Squad's basically like the whole program, and then divided into that is the cheer team, mainline, and Buster Bronco, so mascot.
Really?
Yeah, and
You know
so
who Buster Bronco is?
yes, of
I know
course
who
I,
Buster
do.
Are
Bronco
you allowed to
So-
disclose that or no?
No, I can't tell you.
Say it and we'll blur it.
It was crazy though. It was crazy. I remember like we had a team meeting and we were going around like, oh, I'm Jenna and I'm on mainline, and someone would be like, oh, I'm blank and I'm Buster, and I was like, what? That's crazy.
Because like you're like no one's supposed to know that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's super disclosed. Like if you don't know, like we have a team roster on like broncosports.com, and like they don't ever get to show their face. Like
Dang.
senior year, they'll end up like taking a picture like with the mascot and like post it once they graduate. But no, it's super disclosed.
cool.
Yeah. But in terms of scholarship, it is basically it's money that's given to us like every semester. And it's not like what the scholarship that you think of. It's more so like, oh, we have like our program ends up like just putting like a little bit of money towards our tuition every semester.
Is it everyone, or is it based on GPA or grades, or is it something special?
Kind of everything. It has everything to do with it, but it mostly has to do with how many years you've been on the team. So like fourth years are obviously going to get more money than like first years.
Sure.
And so on. And like I think they award more to those who have a higher GPA than to those like who don't.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a fraternity thing a little bit, where it's like we have, or some of the fraternities have like academic ones, and then some of them have like different ones based on like their major, or like what they do like outside of the fraternity too. So that's kind of cool that everyone gets it.
Yeah, it's
and
cool.
It kind of depends, like it's like a loyalty thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So sorry, Dan. What's the ratio of mainline to or what is it? Mainline, cheerleaders, and bus? Like what's the like number? Like what's the total number?
Yeah. So this year on the team, there's 19 people on mainline, which is 7 more than last year, I think. 5 more? No, 7? I don't know. Anyways, 19 on mainline this year, 29 on cheer, and 5 busters.
Oh, there's multiple busters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a little secret for you. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but that is a little secret.
I was gonna
That
ask if
does
it's
make
like if
sense,
someone
though.
said for 4 years and then they graduate, or
No, there's basically like you train. Like if you ever watch Buster Bronco on a football like game day,
He's
like
gnarly.
they do so
Yeah.
much.
The
They do
push-ups,
so much.
they do have to do
Oh,
as many
yeah.
push-up as points we have. So when we're
We
scoring
do
like,
that too, Rylan. Don't discredit it. No, but you're right, because Buster does it too, and he's running around like constantly. You know what I mean?
In like a hot suit too.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
have you
all
got
those
to
Like
wear the
push-ups.
Buster suit?
No, I want to so bad. I haven't even put on the head. It's really funny. Sometimes they'll like put the head on, but they're not wearing the body, and it's really, really weird looking.
Have you seen pictures of the old Buster?
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, like when we won the Fiesta Bowl against, what is that, OSU?
Yeah.
When the whoever proposed to the cheerleader.
Yes. Yeah.
There's like in the highlight video of that, there's like the old Buster running across field, and it's like scary as fuck.
Yeah. Like the Mickey Mouses on like the Vegas Strip.
Yeah,
It's like that
it's
kind
like
of
a
thing.
ghetto Buster.
That's
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That was like my high school. We were the Wolves, and like the first two, we had like 2 mascot costumes, and they would let anyone put them on, and they looked like rats, but they were supposed to be wolves. And then they got a new one. It looks just like the Buster, but like a wolf. Like really? It's like really cartoony kind of, I guess.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's
but-
better
Buster's
for the
cool, though.
kids.
yeah, but they looked like creepy rats, and like the mouths wouldn't like open, so they held them open with pencils. It was like
No
it was the most
way.
ratchet,
Super ratchet.
It was terrible.
I got to meet Buster, Jenna, on Bronco Day.
Oh my God, how'd you feel?
I kind of felt honored because it's like no one gets to know who they are.
Oh, you met like Buster.
Oh yeah, one of them.
Okay.
One of them.
Oh yes, I think I met him too. No, I lied. Never mind.
Because and
someone
he has
said I'd met him, but
and they have like a full on cart and like a team
Yeah.
that rolls around with them.
Yes.
And it's pretty cool. Like their cart, they left the cart open, and I was cleaning the room that they were in.
Yeah.
And like they had a bunch of props, like a phone and like the horn, or like the
binoculars.
Yeah, the binoculars. It was
Yeah.
the mask.
Yeah. No, it's
Buster had
pretty
his
cool.
mask off inside. It was like a big thing for Bronco Day. They were like, Buster, put your damn mask on.
Is it like sacred to like wear the outfit or like the Buster costume? Like if you asked to put the hat or the head on, would he like, oh, we can't do that? Or
I mean, I'm a member of Spirit, and so I feel like it wouldn't be as weird for me to ask, But also, like, you'll never just see like the costume like outside of our locker room.
Oh yeah,
You know?
it was
Yeah.
weird seeing it like
Yeah.
in
Without a
the
person, like,
green room.
fully
That's why
suited.
like it's in the cart. Like even like say a Buster like is going to an event and like they'll bring it home. Like the suit will never just be like on a hanger and you're just like walking around with it,
Yeah,
so
no,
would
it's
somebody
like-
get fired if they told everybody, oh, I'm Buster Bronco?
No, but I feel like it's such like a
It's a fun thing.
Yeah, I think it's more fun because no one expects it, And I feel like also Busters like take it very seriously, which is also why like our mascot is so like highly known around, because like Buster's a big deal, especially for Boise State and
They're like
everything.
badasses.
Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like they more so take pride in the sense of like, yeah, I'm Buster, and like no one knows it.
It's pretty
you know?
sick.
Yeah.
You think about it, because like Buster's like, they show them on ESPN, they show
Totally.
them on all this
Yeah.
like, all like the Instagrams
And they
stuff.
go to way more events than like we get to. Like they have met so many more people than we have before.
Yeah, do they like bring multiple Busters on like travel games or no?
No, they'll only do one. And you'll also notice that like you'll never see Buster, like 2 Busters at the same time.
Right.
Okay, so that's kind of a question I had.
Yeah.
Is there more than one Buster costume? Because obviously he has his different outfits.
Yeah. I think I could be really wrong right now. I think there might be 2 costumes.
Like 2 heads.
Like the football
Yeah,
one and then the
but
regular one.
well, there's different uniforms. There's a bunch of different uniforms. So like you'll notice like Buster matches what the football team is wearing.
Yeah. So
on like game days.
do they dress him? Or,
yeah,
or
yeah,
he
he's
okay.
dressed. So like, for example, Buster didn't go to BYU this week, but if he did, he would have been wearing a white jersey with black pants.
Yeah.
Like he would have, but
Yeah.
Buster didn't go to BYU.
Why not?
My coach only took my team. There were 11 of us.
So
that
they
got to
said,
go.
Buster, you're sitting on the bench this
Buster
week.
didn't make the cut.
Buster didn't make the cut. Buster did go to Utah State though.
Oh,
Okay.
Who good
Yeah.
for Buster? Did you go to Utah State?
I went as a fan. I didn't get to
Oh,
cheer
that's
at that
right.
one. Yeah, but I cheered at BYU.
You guys fly or drive?
Oh, we drive.
Okay.
Does the football team fly or drive?
Oh, they fly. Charter.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Like, for example, the team for BYU, they got home at approximately, I want to say 7 on Saturday night. And
Probably
we got
nice
home.
and clean, shower.
Oh, yeah.
Food on the
Yeah.
plane.
Oh, yeah. Chick-fil-A and everything, you know. So they got home at about 7, and I'm pretty sure we rolled in at about 12:30 in a
Just
12-person
missed the
van,
Chick-fil-A.
and my
Yeah.
coach drives. So,
Gosh. Don't even get your own driver or anything?
no.
Damn.
Dane, do you remember when we were rolling through back from San Francisco from RLC? And we were rolling through the football parking lot at like, 2 or 3 a.m. because we wanted to see the Super Bowl. And Duncan was driving. He was hauling ass through the parking lot. And I go, cop. And he got fucking pissed.
Yeah.
He was so mad at me the rest of the night. And it's like, 3:30 in the morning. Like, we've been driving all night from San Francisco. No one wants to be like, in that car anymore. Like, Jen, I'm sure like that was kind of the vibe when you guys got back from Utah. You're like, oh, they just flew home and we had to drive
Oh, yeah.
all the fucking way from Utah,
Yep.
which isn't fun. That drive's not fun. But
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
it was
I
fun.
remember distinctly just Duncan's deep voice like, Rylan, there's a lot of things you can joke about, but cops ain't one of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
This
God.
having
gets
it.
all serious.
Yeah.
Makes it a lecture.
So when you go travel to like the away games, if you're not like one of the mainline dancers for that game, do you have to pay to go yourself, or will they still pay for you?
For example, for Utah State. So I didn't cheer at Utah State. I went as a fan, but I used so football players, they get 2 tickets for away games. So I just used my
gotcha.
boyfriend's ticket.
Okay, but
Yeah.
travel's on your own? If
Yeah,
you're not-
travel's on my own and everything. Like my friend and I, we were the ones who went to Logan to the Utah State game, and we drove, we got
Yeah.
tickets and went to the game, but
Overall, how is it being a mainline dancer?
it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's like, I think game days, a lot of people underestimate how much work it is and how tiring it is.
I'm sure.
Like, no, I think we're just a pretty face that are like shaking pom-poms, but it's so much more than that. Like, we get to the facility literally before the football team does. Like, we get to the facility 4 hours before kickoff, and it's not just like sitting around waiting for the game to start. Like, we start doing things immediately 4 hours before. And it's a lot of work, but it's so much fun. And we also compete. So we go to Daytona, Florida in April, and we compete there, which is so much fun.
You guys just won an award, right? A
Yeah,
couple
we
of them?
got 2nd in hip hop and 4th in jazz.
Congrats.
Yeah, it was really, really fun.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's really nice. So
Who are you competing against?
Other colleges?
other
probably?
colleges, yeah.
Oh, just
So
like random colleges?
It's
you get?
nationals, so it's like a national competition for dance and cheer. So actually our biggest competitor is BYU.
Oh, boy.
Fuck
like
you,
all
man.
other Bronco sports athletics,
Is that kind of how you got chosen to go to the BYU? Or you guys went to the BYU game?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I went to
okay.
BYU. No,
Just kind of show off, like we got in second.
no, well, they got first.
Oh,
Yeah.
Competition-
We beat 'em in football, so it's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay.
Competition didn't really have anything to do with who got to travel to the BYU game. My coach kind of selects that. So like the first game, Utah State was the first away game, or second away game because UCF, but no one went to that. Because we're not allowed to fly on the football team's charter plane right now, we're only going places where we can drive that are like close enough to drive,
Oh, okay. So normally you guys would fly with the football team.
Yes. Prior to COVID, prior to them letting
Okay.
us on the
Oh.
plane, they would allow, I could be wrong, I think it was 6 people. So it would be my coach, and then she would select 6 people to go to each away game.
So does that make you can have more cheerleaders now because you can fit 10 in a van?
Yes. Yeah. That was like a huge thing. That's why it was such a big deal for me to be able to go to BYU, because I'm only a junior. And so it's definitely based on seniority. So when they only used to allow 5 to 6 people go to each game, like there was no shot of me being able to go unless it was like a later game in the season. So being able to go to like the second travel away game was like a huge deal, you know?
Yeah, but so by the end of the season, are the senior cheerleaders like, yeah, fuck that. All the young girls can go. We don't want to travel
No,
anymore?
because it's such like, we only get 6 away games and 3 of them are already gone, you know? And so at this point, like, I think that everyone really values all of the time that we get. And it's so much fun. Like, we were in Provo for, I don't know, maybe like 24 hours, 36 hours. Yeah. So it's not even that long, but it's like the best time ever. Like, it's so much fun. Like, I mean, we drove there. The drive sucks, but it's so much fun. Like, you're literally with 11 of your other teammates, like driving to Utah, you know,
like
staying in a
best
hotel.
moments, like you're trapped in a car for like 12 hours.
Yes.
Like, the funniest stuff happens.
Road trips, I always love the way there, but I hate the way back.
Oh my gosh. And then we won, so then we're like, oh my God, of course we have to sit in a car for 6 hours. Like, that sucks, you know?
Dang.
But it was crazy that we even got to be at that game. It was insane.
I'm surprised. So this is kind of, you said you got the guest tickets for the Logan Utah game.
Yeah.
Because of your boyfriend. That's kind of a good segue into like,
Oh.
who is your boyfriend for the people that maybe don't know?
Of course, it's a good segue. I get shy. My boyfriend's on the football team. He plays quarterback. His name is Hank Bachmeyer.
Never heard of
round
him.
of applause.
See the like third string? Who is that guy? I don't know.
See, nice. I get all blushy. I get all weird.
Which is weird because like we have class together, television class, and you're like Talent Weekly, and like literally nothing ever gets in your way. Like, you'll do stories on him, like you know, have his performances through the week, and like nothing ever. You're always just reporter mode. Yeah, which is cool.
Well, you'll notice like I never tell people. Like, I let people figure it out for themselves.
And it took the class so long.
Like,
I will tell you,
I think
so
I was
long.
in the class for the entire first semester before. Like, I think it was in my second semester of the class. People actually found out.
317 of 117? Because 117 people don't care enough about you.
317.
No.
I was in first semester of 317. No one had any idea. And I think we were like towards the very end of the second semester that I was in 317, and people finally found out.
I'm going to take credit for being the first one.
Okay.
Because I remember telling May, I think Jenna's dating Hank. She goes, no way, really? And I go, yeah, I swear. Because I followed you on Instagram. And then you
that's how I let people find out.
Yeah, I went there and I'm like, wait, she's wearing a Bachmeyer jacket. She must be a huge ass fan.
Huge.
I was like, wow, she's like really going through some shit. And,
practice.
And then I go down more. I'm like, oh, this is from Marietta High School. I think they're dating.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing I do. I don't really tell people. Yeah. It's kind of something that I do as a personal like defense mechanism.
I think you have that's kind of the more humble way to go about it.
Yeah.
Sure. You don't want to be that person like
I'm
walking
dating
to a room.
Oh my God,
guess
no.
who I'm dating.
Yeah.
You know?
But then you get to my Instagram, I'm like, yeah, this is my boyfriend. Like, he's so cool, you know. But I'm definitely not the person. Like, I have never that I can remember. I've never just come out and been like, yeah, that's my boyfriend. Like this is who my boyfriend is. Like, I also don't care.
Yeah.
We've been together for so long that I don't know him as a college football quarterback, you know?
Yeah.
He was my boyfriend in high school.
So you met him in high school then?
Yes. So we went to high school together. We obviously met freshman year. So I was 13 when we met. And we started dating my junior year. So we've been together for 4 years now. We're juniors in college, started dating junior high school.
Nice. How did that all start? Sweet. Give us the background there.
Oh my God, you want our love story?
Yeah, it's your love story. I think
the first time you
give
met.
people what they want to hear.
Oh my God. Oh, the first time we met. Well, first time we met was freshman year, you know.
Oh,
I was on the cheer team. He was a football player, you know, whatever. Like, everyone knows everyone in high school, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our love story. So I've never told this publicly, actually, like just to people.
Exclusive.
So I was dating another person.
Oh, actually, you've told me this.
Yeah, exactly. I just bring it up in like individual conversations. I've never said it.
You don't have to if you don't want.
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
it's a funny story. It was literally 4 years ago.
Okay.
So I was dating another person. He was on the basketball team. My friends kind of like set us up, and we dated for a total of 3 weeks. I know, huge. And we were at a Halloween party our junior year, and my boyfriend of the time and we dated for 3 weeks, mind you. We were wearing a couple's costume, and he was in the backyard, and I was in the kitchen flirting with Hank for the entire party. And we have basically been together ever since. I dumped my boyfriend the next day, and Hank and I have been dating since.
Dang.
So is there a formal like asking you out process, or
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
oh yeah, she was flirting with me?
No, okay, so I forgot to mention this. Prior to the Halloween party, Hank was like flirting with me so much at school, like all the time. Like we would, in our ASB class together, they would be like, oh, like, who in this class would you date? And he'd be like, Jenna. And I'm like, oh my God, I have a boyfriend. Like, leave me
3
alone.
weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks. I'm like, yeah, leave me alone. Like, I have a boyfriend, you know? So he was flirting with me for a long time before that. And then, no, there was like an official thing. You know how the high schoolers like, will you be my girlfriend?
Yeah.
You know, that was like a few
it.
months down the road. But
So does Hank have game?
Sounds like it.
I'd say so. I mean, his flirting game was good. It did take him a while to ask me to be his girlfriend, though.
He's
But-
like more of one of those guys.
Yeah, so annoying.
Wasn't
What about
afraid
now?
to
Is
shoot
he-
a shot though.
Is he still good? Like, you know, like when you guys, you know, 'cause you guys hang out, obviously, probably a lot.
We
Yeah.
live together.
Oh yeah. So like, you know, is he still like, is his flirting game still up to par? Or like, you know, those TikToks
Absolutely
you see
not.
where it's like 1 year dating or like 1 week of dating.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like 6 months. Is it kind of
Yeah.
like that?
Absolutely not. No game. I would consider, I don't know if he would agree with this, but I'd consider him my best friend for sure. But I think it's definitely like, we're so comfortable with each other.
I mean, you live together, so I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm like, actually, I hate him. No, I mean, flirting wise, I don't know how,
It's just like, yeah, you guys are friends now, you know?
yeah,
Like-
just friends.
Yeah.
Who wants him?
Dang. So he's the reason you came to Boise State?
No, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So I got a lot of hate for this in high school. It really sucked actually. But so going back into high school, my sophomore year, I went into like a deep dive of where I wanted to go to college. I put
Damn, that's early.
all of the, yeah.
I didn't get on it till
I'm a
late
super
junior.
ambitious person, like super ambitious. So sophomore year, I was like, okay, here's like my top 10, here's my top 5, and these are my top 3. And Boise State was number 1. It had to do a lot with, I'm a huge football girl, so I needed a school that had football. I also needed a school that had my major because I've known what I've wanted to do career-wise since 8th grade. And I also needed somewhere that wasn't super far away from home. And obviously this was before my family moved to Georgia. So now it like completely like defeats the purpose. But those are like 3 of my major points. So that was sophomore year. I decided that. Hank and I obviously started dating junior year, but Boise State had still been my number 1 at that point. He had 22 offers for college, so he could have literally played anywhere around the country. And we never really took each other into account in terms of where we were going to college. It was a very like individually based process. And he, after his long recruiting process, he junior year chose Boise State. Had nothing to do with me. Me coming here had nothing to do with him, but honestly, it's like worked out because I'm still yet to get homesick. So
So
Yeah.
you really don't think part of the reason he picked Boise State is because he knew it was
because
your
of
dream
me,
school?
absolutely not.
So who
Really?
declared first? You declared like you're going to Boise State first, or
I mean, it was such like since my sophomore year, I'm like, this is where I'm going.
Yeah.
And like I said, like he literally had so many offers, he could have gone anywhere.
Mhm.
I truthfully do not think that he would base where he was going to play college football off of me.
Yeah.
Just like me being such an ambitious person, like it really had nothing to do with him. So no, like I genuinely do not think that like my mindset for sure had nothing to do with him.
Right.
It was just somewhere where I wanted to go. But I definitely got hate for it in high school. Like I remember other parents would like go to my parents and be like, oh, like Jenna's going to Boise State. Like that's weird. Isn't that where Hank's going? I'm like, shut your mouth.
No way.
Damn.
Yeah,
even the
sucked.
parents are.
Like the teachers, like I remember this one teacher on graduation day. So Hank graduated high school early. He graduated in January. So he came up here,
Didn't know
started
you could do
learning the
that.
playbook. Yeah. It's something that only 3 people did it his freshman year, but it's something that definitely happens. Like if you have the correct credits, you can graduate early, come up, start learning the playbook, kind of get an advantage almost to like,
Where you're new home.
yeah, bettering your position as well, which I definitely I think helps a lot. But I remember on graduation day, a teacher that both of us had, she had came up to me and she was like going through all the lists of students being like, oh my gosh, good luck at this school, good luck at this school, good luck at this school. And she came up to me and she goes, tell Hank hi for me. I was like, oh my God.
Even the teachers are petty out
Yeah.
there.
Did
Dang.
they, like,
And it
think you were,
really
like,
sucked, honestly, but
damn.
They're
here I
supposed to be
am.
supportive.
So-
Yeah,
Did they think you were like making him go there, or was that?
no,
like,
I just think that it's such a thing where people think that you're following your boyfriend there.
Oh, okay. I
um,
thought it was like they thought you were making him go there.
No, no,
Or like
no.
you were
No one thinks I have that power
See
over
that?
him.
Yeah, that's a
I-
lot of power.
I can agree with you there, Jenna, because I have that same issue. Is I wanted to go to Boise State since probably like like sixth, seventh grade, just because like I was never into college at all, and my dad came here on a business trip and was like, "Yo, when you go to college, like they had like this 10-year plan public meeting, and he was here for like a business trip, and so he went because he was bored in the hotel, and he came back or he called me on the business trip. He's like, yeah, when Boise State, when you get ready to go to college, Boise State's gonna be like a super dope college, or like if they follow through with their plan, and so from that point on, I just said, okay, I'm going to Boise State or I'm going to like community college, and like that was like I said, like 6th, 7th grade. I was really young, and it happened to be where my older cousin ended up coming here, like just randomly too, like and it wasn't a cousin I was close with either. It just happened to be. Well, then what happened is his sister then went here, his younger sister.
Oh my gosh,
so then that's 2 Dawsons that go to Boise State. One,
actually, I don't mean to cut you off, Rylan, but at the last tailgate, Sawyer came up to me and wanted a shout out on the pod. So this is a good time to shout out your cousin Sawyer for that.
I'm gonna mute your mic. But anyway,
I had to do it. I'm sorry.
Your cousin.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So like it pissed me off. I was like, yo, it looks like I'm following like my family to Boise State. Which, like,
I mean,
I wanted to go here
my
first.
Sister here. I was like, whatever. I like it. It's a cool place. Like
at least you own it.
Yeah. I was like, it's a cool
Exactly.
place.
And I feel like if that was the case, like I would own it. I remember this one guy who we went to high school with, like his girlfriend, they dated his junior year, her senior year. So she's a grade older than us. And people would be like, oh, why are you going there? And he's like, I want to be with my girlfriend, Like, if that was the case, I feel like I would own it. But that's genuinely, that wasn't the case for me. And it was almost like more hurtful in the sense of you're like, I'm finally going to college. Like, why can't I just like,
supportive.
Be happy for me. Like, I'm going to get an education. Like, also, who cares if that is the case? Like, why are you making comments?
I'm never
like,
going to talk to you after we graduate anyways.
Yeah. And it like still is something that I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I feel like I was constantly on like defense mode, I'm like, here's my truth. Like, believe it or not. But
That's high school for you.
Yeah, it
Well,
sucked.
so was Boise State like the best school Hank got an offer from? What were some of the other big schools?
Damn, you stole my fucking question.
He actually had a few Ivy League schools. He had Georgia, which was like a huge one. He also had Cal, which was another big one. He had Minnesota. He had, let's think of some other ones that are big.
Damn,
Cal's
that's
produced
funny.
a lot of
You got
good
an offer from
quarterbacks.
Georgia and your family ended up moving
I
out there.
know. My mom was like, oh my God, Jenna, if only Hank went to Georgia, like maybe he would have come,
And what's funny is I think the Falcons are probably going to be looking for a quarterback here pretty soon.
that
with
is
Matt
so
Ryan
weird.
getting old. So
Matt is
that?
getting a little old if you ask me.
How crazy would that be?
Hank's
got
fate,
drafted?
it could
My
still
mom
land
would
in
be so
Georgia.
excited.
That'd be
You don't even know.
nuts.
Is your mom and
That'd be
Hank
sweet.
like really good friends?
I think my mom just really misses me.
Oh, does she miss Hank?
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like she's just like I said, it defeats the purpose that I went to school in Boise, Idaho, because I tried to stay not super far away from home, but still like a flight or at least a drive away from home. And then they moved across the country.
Yeah.
So it completely defeats the purpose. And like, I'm the oldest child, So like, I was the first one to go off to college. And then my second sister, she's the freshman. She goes to school an hour and a half away from our house. Like she plays softball at a school in northern Georgia. And so like she was just home for the weekend, So I think in that sense, my mom would really like if I went back.
Yeah. So dating like the starting quarterback of a pretty big college.
Yeah.
Do you ever have to deal with like girls like just blatantly walking up and hitting on him in front of you? Is that ever like an issue, or was that in high school or anything like that?
Oh no, not in high school for sure. I mean, high school, like I kind of said, everyone kind of knows everyone. So it's like, I feel like everyone knew that we were together. So it's just
that'd
like,
be pretty disrespectful.
it's like
Be
fine.
See him the next day in class. Like, all right, cool.
Exactly. I remember when we first started talking, this one girl came up to me and she was like, are you talking to Hank? And I'm like, yeah. And she was like, oh, okay. I was like,
Damn.
okay,
Like that
cool.
high school days.
In terms of college, that I can think of, like obviously after games, like girls will go up and like take pictures with him.
Sure.
But I'm the one who's like, oh, do you guys want me to take your picture? Like, I'll, like
So you
I will
mediated on purpose.
Oh yeah, I literally could care less.
Yeah.
Like I'll be the one. Like I remember after Mountain West championships, like I remember this one, like this huge group of girls like went up to him and was like, can we take a picture? I'm like, oh yeah, like hand me your phone. Like I'll do it for you.
So your dominance
And then you
is
go up
just
and like
there.
kiss him on the cheek after.
Oh
Like,
yeah. But in that sense, like no, I do remember I think it was our sophomore year. So last season, when they went to play Colorado State, a high schooler asked him to homecoming.
Did he go?
No, she lived in Colorado. But
Interesting.
she asked
That is
him, and then like she like posted a bunch of stuff on TikTok, and I found the TikTok, so I like liked and commented. I'm like, oh my God, like so funny. And she like DM'd me and she's like, I'm so sorry. Like this is just a joke between me and my friends. I'm like, I literally don't care. Like it's totally okay.
That's
you know.
so funny.
That's cool.
But I mean, I don't really like get affected, I guess.
It's kind of
Yeah.
funny to think about some high schoolers have like a crush on your boyfriend.
Oh my
like,
gosh,
yeah.
yeah.
And they're in Colorado. Is that where they were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
I mean,
Colorado
probably
State.
Nash. I mean, I'm sure there's someone on the East Coast that follows Boise State and is like, oh my God, the Boise State quarterback is so hot. Like,
Well, there's a girl on my dance team. She went to, oh my gosh, what school around here is green and orange or green and yellow?
Like
don't
a
know,
college?
No, high school.
I don't know.
isn't that
Centennial?
Bishop Kelly?
What colors? Wait, what?
Green and
I
yellow.
think that might be Bishop. No,
I don't think.
Bishop
I think
Kelly
she went
was
to Boise
purple.
High. What color is Boise High?
Boise High. I think it's red.
Okay, irrelevant. But anyways,
I can't tell.
I don't remember what high school she went. Oh no, I just lost it.
Bora?
Yes, Bora. That was it. It's green, right?
Sure. Let's
Okay,
go with it.
whatever.
For the sake
Okay,
of the
anyways.
story.
But she's on my dance team, but she's a year below me, so she's a sophomore this year. And I remember she told me her freshman year when she was on my team, she was like, "Oh my God, Jenna, like I remember everyone in high school had the biggest crush on Hank, and we were all so excited that he like committed to Boise State because we all wanted to go watch him play football games. And the fact that you're my teammate and his girlfriend's really weird to me."
Oh no.
So it's like I feel like it's definitely a thing, but
Yeah.
it doesn't really affect
Something
me.
Do
you
you,
gotta get used to.
Do you get any hate? Because it's like, oh, the quarterback's dating a cheerleader. That's like so stereotypical. Or like do you ever like, or
I've-
have you experienced anyone like any hate on any of like your platforms or whatever?
That I remember, especially in terms of quarterback cheerleader kind of thing, like that has never been a case. Like
And
people will
that's
just be
literally
like,
out of the book. Like,
yeah, exactly. And but that's how it was in high school too, you know?
yeah.
Same sort of thing. But in terms of the stereotypical thing, I feel like when people find out, they're like, oh my God, so stereotypical, like so cute, you know? I cannot remember a time that I have gotten hate. Clearly it didn't affect me because I cannot remember right now.
Yeah.
I don't think that I've gotten Hank. I've had people like DM me being like, hey Jenna, is Hank playing today? Like, and I have no idea who this person is. Or being like,
Like they're trying to reach Hank through
Someone's
you.
probably-
yeah, through me. Exactly. Well, this was also, he also didn't make an Instagram until like not too long ago. So people would DM me on Instagram and be like, hey Jenna, like, you know, like, oh, how's Hank feeling about this? Or like, hey Jenna, can you tell Hank this? Or like, oh, hey Jenna, like, Hank played such a great game today. And
Are
I'm
they
like,
like random people or people?
random
you know?
people.
Half these people sound like they got money on the line. If they're one
Yeah, they're like,
I did
I
have
took
someone-
Boise State -3. Like,
Yeah.
Hank needs to be feeling good.
Yeah.
I
Is
did have
Hank
someone
playing?
DM me one time and they were like, hey Jenna, is Hank playing today? Like trying to bet on this game. Like don't know if he's going to play. And it was when he was like hurt last year. And I'm like, oh, this is so awkward.
They're like,
Can't say anything.
yeah.
No, I'm not allowed to say anything, but still I was like, this is
That's
so weird.
funny.
I've never responded to any of those people.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, I'm really sorry, but
I hope you won your money.
yeah,
Good
luck.
There's this is kind of more about Hank,
Okay.
but there's obviously you get to see him, you know, like pre-game, you know, post-game. Does he do any like weird, like, do you have any like weird like routines, or is he like superstitious or anything like that?
Okay, so something that a lot of people don't know is that the football team actually stays in a hotel the night before games.
Even home games?
Yes.
Really?
So obviously away games, they have to stay in a hotel before a
Right.
game because
Yeah.
it's an away game.
Yeah. Sleep on the bus.
But this is kind of the point that I'm making is a lot of people don't know this. They, for home games, they stay in a hotel in Meridian. It's for structure, it's for curfews, it's for all of that sort of stuff, you know? So in terms of pregame, I do not see him. So he gets to the facility usually around 1 the day before the game, and I don't see him until after the game.
Wow.
So pregame wise, I don't know. I feel like,
what about high school though? Like, did he do anything like weird, like, oh, like, you know, I wear the same socks, or like,
oh, he
you
had a
know,
lucky
like-
headband in high school.
was it a Jordan headband like Zach Wilson?
No, it's from, oh my gosh, what is the brand called? I can't remember, but it was tie-dye. You can look up any picture of him in high school. It was a
wearing it?
tie-dye headband, yeah. And it was his lucky headband. But he's not allowed to wear any headbands except Nike now. So he can't wear that rainbow headband anymore.
Even one without a logo.
Yeah, it
Why
has
can't
to be
he-
Nike.
Why can't he hit up his boys at Nike and be like, yo, make me
Well,
a
He
rainbow
does.
headband?
He does have. He wears a Nike headband now, and it's like a Nike one that says 19 on
Should
it.
just get
It's
like
not
a Nike
lucky.
stitched into the tie-dye one.
Oh my God, his mom lost it. I think.
Oh man.
I remember he like one day it was like gone, but I think she was like cleaning out his backpack or something like that. I can't really remember exactly how it was lost, but it was lost at one point. So I bought him a new one. But that was going into his freshman year here, so he was never able to wear it because he was just like not allowed to.
Man.
But that was his lucky thing in high school was the rainbow headband. Like literally Google it. Like you could see any
Yeah.
pictures of him.
What
in it.
about post game? Is there like any ritual or anything
Weird
like
quirks
Post game ritual.
that? Or like
You know, like,
celebration?
you
or-
know,
It's
he's
probably
like gotta
varies
watch Family
win-
Guy or
win or
something like
loss.
that, you know, after the game. Like, you know,
Gotta go to
or
Jack in
like
the
post
Box
game
or-
meal. Yeah.
He goes to sleep.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
probably
bet.
varies on win or
Yeah.
loss.
He
like, if he
yeah, like
celebrates or
literally
not.
BYU, when I was obviously driving home, I got home 5 hours after him, but I was like texting him on the drive home, like, oh, like, what are your plans tonight? Like thinking he would like go out with his friends, you know? And he was like, I'm just going to go to sleep. And I got home at 12:30 and I was like, oh, okay, you're in bed, you know? Like,
Oh, he is here.
one thing actually, I always give him shit about this. He rewatches his games like immediately when he gets home.
Like the same day.
Really?
Yes.
Right
Really?
away.
So like when I got home from BYU the other night, he was watching his game. He was in the third quarter when I got home,
And he watches the full game.
the full game.
Like
He-
not just his plays, like the whole game.
Sometimes he'll like skip through defense because like
Why?
You
why,
know. he's
Yeah.
an offensive player.
Yeah, he's not gonna play him for
But-
another year. So.
Exactly. But yeah, he rewatches his games. I feel like if it was a harder game, harder loss kind of thing, maybe he'll wait like a second. But he usually always rewatches his games.
That's cool.
Mhm.
How does he feel after losses, especially like the UCF game where they had the big comeback and stuff? Like,
Yeah.
obviously he's gonna be like pretty upset.
You got to deal with it.
Yeah.
UCF was really hard. He got a lot of hate. And a lot of people don't see that side of an athlete. And it really sucks because people comment and they just are behind the screen and they don't think that there's an actual person sitting there like
Keyboard warriors.
seeing that.
Yeah.
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 And it was really hard because he was like, I can't even scroll through my Instagram feed right now.
That's
Like,
nuts.
does
He
suck.
had, like, I am not even kidding with you. It said 999 plus DMs in Instagram.
Oh my
like to the point
God.
where like you can't, it doesn't go past like
Damn.
1,000 or whatever. Like it
Yeah.
literally said 990.
Is he verified?
Yes.
Are you
Damn,
verified?
Just people just hating.
No,
on
who do you think I am?
Did you get him verified?
No,
Okay.
no, I didn't.
Yeah, that's crazy about the hate though. I remember
Yeah.
when we lost to Nevada when we were like ranked number 4.
Yeah,
We missed the 2 back-to-back field goals.
yeah.
That kicker, I think it was Bronsman was his name. He was getting like death threats and
So did Hank.
we sent
Wow.
That's
that
Yeah.
sent him out of Boise.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, I obviously see it because I'm on the other side of it, but people do not realize the impact that it has.
And that I'm sure that fucks him up.
Oh my God, you have no idea.
Wow.
Like,
thousands of people.
I
say
have,
that.
I have a 24-hour rule, and so does Coach Avalos, in the sense of like, okay, you have 24 hours to celebrate or you have 24 hours to cry. But after that, it's another game week. So like figure it out, kind of thing.
It's a good strategy.
Yeah. And I love it. And like, I remember, I heard, I don't remember which NFL coach had that like mentality, but I remember hearing it when I was like so young and I was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to live by, anyways, but I remember it was like past 24 hours and Coach Av like called Hank and was like, okay,
Yo, let's go on to the
Yeah.
next.
Yeah, move
like
on.
it's a new game
And
week,
did he snap out of it? Is he the kind of guy that's like, or it's like you can kind of tell it's still lingering a little bit?
Yeah. UCF was hard.
And,
Harder than any other game,
Well,
but
big school season
Mhm.
opener, like
Yeah.
it's
and with the
kinda-
lead too.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a tough game.
That
That
one
was a tough game
one
for
was a hard
fans.
one. Yeah.
It
That
wasn't
one was
just
a
Hank.
hard one
I'm
for
sure
sure.
I'm sure the whole team was, a little down.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I also don't think that it's any easier to lose and then fly back from Florida the same night.
Yeah, that's like a 6-hour flight.
That doesn't
Yeah.
sound like a fun ride home.
Yeah, so that one was the hardest one. But in terms of losses, like I feel like usually most of the time mentally he's like, damn, that sucks, but it's gonna be okay kind of thing.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty
Mhm.
hard-headed guy.
Yeah.
Like in his, interviews and stuff.
Yeah. I just would love for people to actually see the behind the scenes
Yeah,
of
I didn't really think about that side of
college
like
athlete.
publicity, like people that are that like
oh yeah.
in the spotlight, like
Yeah.
they can get hate if they do anything wrong or like,
Anything
really-
wrong. And it's kind of like a pitcher in baseball. Like
Yeah.
literally like your outfielder can make a mistake, but the pitcher's still going to take all of the credit for it or like,
Mhm.
take all of the blame for it and everything.
Yeah, for giving up the hit. Like,
Same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Shit. Quarterbacks, I'd say more like
Exactly.
detrimental than a pitcher.
Yep. And so it's the same sort of thing. Like someone else could have like messed up the game, but it's all going to fall back on the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just kind of where it goes.
Yeah, well, it's kind of
Yeah.
funny about that, like the keyboard warrior guys. I had to watch a TED Talk for one of my comm classes a couple weeks ago, and
Mhm.
it was someone who he was this gay guy who was like, he's not famous, but he does like makes I think he's like an author or a writer for like a website, right?
Okay.
And he's always getting hate like from people like on Twitter and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so what he started doing, this is what his TED Talk was about. He would find their contact information, call them over the phone, and be like, "Hey, it's blah blah blah. Why would you send me that message? Like, let's talk through it."
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of like, you know, he shared a couple examples, and they were all like, "Sorry, dude, my life fucking sucks right now." You know, and he's like,
This made it worse.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
wish more athletes or celebrities would do that.
Oh
Like
my God.
actually see like some random bum who's tweeting at Hank from Broadway Bar, like
Yeah.
call him up
Because
and
they
see what-
lost
you
the
know,
spread.
Yeah.
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 It was so interesting too because I remember Hank would show me this one DM, and after UCF, this guy was like, "You suck, you're the worst, like you should leave, like Boise, blah blah blah," you know, like
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff, like horrible.
We want Sears chance. And all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Oh,
And then the
man.
next week, who do we play? UTEP, and we win. And the guy, same exact person, was like, "You're the man, Hank. Like, so happy you're at Boise State."
That's so
I'm
funny.
not even making this up.
I
Like,
see him back to back like the hate message.
it's
and the
literally
good
the
one.
same. Yeah, it's the same person, same exact message, just 6 days
It's
apart.
probably like McBroom and Webby, like
Yeah, I was
drunk
about to say,
at
do you
end
know if it
zone.
was like a student or if it was just some random person? Do you have?
Who knows?
It had to have
Yeah.
been a
The
student.
boy.
I have
man.
no. Yeah, I was like, "You're the
Let's go
man,
get a
Hank.
beer."
So happy Boise State has you." Like,
Oh my
you know,
God.
but it's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
I'm so glad you didn't listen to my last text, dude. Thanks for staying.
Yeah, dude. Glad it
Yeah.
pumped you up.
Some people would do that. They're like, "Sorry for what I said, man. Like, don't take it personal, you know." But like,
Just
you
trying to
did
hype you
so
up.
good today.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And it's funny too. Like, do you really expect Hank to respond? Oh, no worries, man.
No worries, man.
It's all
Appreciate
good.
the support.
Yeah. Like,
Will he ever respond? Like ever?
No, he had some like celebrity kind of people like reach out to him, and I think he would like just respond and be like, "Thank you, I appreciate the
Really?
support," sort of thing.
Like what kind of can you say? Like what kind of celebrity we talking?
Well, I think there was one person. The one person I just thought of was, so there was a lady on like the Real Housewives, and it was her son. But her son has like made like a name for himself within the media as well.
Okay.
So he's like verified, has like a bunch of followers. But he DM'd Hank after, I think it was UCF, and was like, "Hey man, like keep your head up, like
That's cool.
supporting you, you know." And I think
yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think Hank was like, "Thank you, I appreciate the support." But
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Has he had any like pro football players reach out to him? Like yo, like you're
Kellen
doing
Moore
good out
called
here.
him the other day.
Called
supposedly.
him?
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
so-
texted him.
That's
Maybe?
still pretty.
I don't
dope.
really remember, but still, either way, I was like fangirling and I wasn't even in the room. I was like, "What?"
That's pretty sweet.
I would talk to him.
Yeah,
Current
I know. I was like,
Cowboys,
"Put him on the line. Let's go," you know?
Yeah.
But-
Current
Get him on hold the
Cowboys
mic.
Next time.
Oh my God,
offensive
right?
coordinator.
Exactly.
Greatest, quarterback Boise State's ever
Oh,
seen.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So,
Yeah.
why did like Hank finally make like an Instagram? Like what was the holdup? Was he just like, is he like a guy that's like fuck social media or?
Did you want him to post
Kinda.
pictures of you guys? or
I know.
what?
I'm like, please, just like, reaffirm
This is a
me.
two-sided relationship, not one side.
I know. I'm like, please just post pictures of me. No, absolutely not. He literally has no pictures of me on his Instagram.
I was
I
gonna
could
say,
care
yeah,
less.
he hasn't.
I literally don't care. I had girls ask me one day, they're like, "Jenna, doesn't it like hurt your feelings that like he doesn't have any pictures of you?" I'm like, I literally could care less. Like, I do not care. That's not how I get my reassurance in a relationship. Anyways, the reason
She
that
does it by money lines and spreads. That's how she does
True.
her insurance.
he for the longest time only had Twitter. And he just like wasn't a huge like social media person, and even in the sense of Twitter, it was like keeping up with other sports, other schools, all that kind of stuff. And for the longest time, I was telling him, "You need to make an Instagram. You need to build your brand." Like I geek out of that over that kind of stuff. Like I love that sort of stuff. I think it's so interesting. Social media is super interesting in the sense of how much you can build a brand over those platforms.
Yeah.
So for the longest time, I was telling him, I'm like, "You have to do this. You have to start building your brand." Like he is so quirky and so goofy, and no one knows that. Like I feel like everyone just thinks he's like this super cool and swaggy person. I'm like, he is the furthest from that ever. Like he literally has no swag to him at all. Like he cannot dance to save his life. Anyways, but so for the longest time I was telling him, and then finally I think it really had a lot to do with the whole NIL thing. Because before NIL,
Is NIL the where they can get like sponsorships?
yeah,
and
name, image, likeness. Before NIL, really like social media. Okay, cool. Like, yeah, you can be verified on Instagram and Twitter, but like you couldn't really get anything out of it besides followers, if that makes sense. So now that NIL has come, that's like a lot of deals will have to do with that. And I feel like NIL had a lot to do with building a brand, a personal brand for yourself as well. So building his personal brand over social media.
Did you have to
That's
like
really important.
convince him Like, was it like, come on, Hank, like just.
Well,
just
the
make
thing
one.
is like I'll never get credit for that kind of stuff. So like,
But here's your platform. Like, say, like, yeah, I told him his username. Like, like.
I mean, no, like
What is his username? Just his
QB
name?
Hank 19.
Oh, okay.
Actually, he has a fan page, and it's at Hank Bachmeyer.
So he
Oh,
can't
they
take
And
took
but
it.
that person used to pretend that they were Hank's actual account.
Oh shit.
So like people would like text me and be like, "Why is Hank not following me back on Instagram?" I'm like, "That's literally not him." Like,
Do you know who runs it?
no idea. I have no idea.
Dang.
But the
How-
person basically has that username, but
I thought when you were verified, you could be able to take that. Be like, that's
You can like send in
Yeah,
a
you can,
request.
like,
probably.
go back
Yeah,
and
you
run
probably
name.
could, but his Twitter handle is also QBHank19. So I feel like it's just such a
Was he number 19 in high school?
yes.
Okay.
That's cool. Did he get first pick at his number here or?
There was no number 19.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's a number 19 on defense at
Uh-huh.
Boise State, but obviously you can have an offensive and defensive player having it.
Yeah.
So that worked out for him because he was able to keep his number when he came here.
That's
Pretty
cool.
sweet.
I
Is
like
that-
his number.
is
I
that-
think about that a lot, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, some numbers are just ugly next to each other, and I really like how 19 looks.
19 does look good on a
Yeah, it's
jersey.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I
On a
like
football
it.
Jersey. Especially with like the length of his name too. You know,
Yeah.
like you think like of the like the Bachmeyer.
Yes, I really enjoy
Very
it. Like
symmetrical.
some numbers are ugly to me, but I like his.
What would be your football number? What goes good with Vitamanti?
Probably 27.
Okay.
It
know,
looks
I feel
good,
like-
huh?
I feel like
Vitamanti,
27 is always like a
27.
goated number.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a pretty sweet
And
number.
like that's the day of my birthday, and so like that's always been my number. Like when I played softball and stuff, like that was my number and everything. But I just feel like it's like the way that a 2 and a 7 look together are nice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like Jarvis Landry.
I'm a big 24 guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Or
because that's my birthday
JJ, you
too.
mean?
But yeah.
What was that? 24?
Yeah.
Yeah, those
I like
it's
24.
exactly. It's kind of like a birthday thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or yeah, I think quarterback wise, 10 and 12 look the best though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
a little
10
Tom
looks
Brady
pretty good.
action.
Yeah.
8 looks pretty sweet too.
8.
Yeah.
I do like an 8.
Yeah.
I don't like the 6. I don't like how Baker. I don't like the 6.
Mm-mm.
Too low.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I don't like the whole 1, like QB1, like nah.
stupid.
Unless you're like Cam Newton, I
Yeah.
think, you know. But
Right.
I'm
I'm a double digit kind of girl.
Oh, for sure.
I just feel like fill a space.
Yeah. 8's probably the lowest number I do. Then
Yeah.
double digits are all sweet.
with the whole Instagram social media thing.
Yeah.
I know Hank's been featured a couple times on like Barstool Sports or I know I remember one, what was it, sophomore year, and I saw it on the Boise News channel, and he went out to like where was it, like
Fruitland.
yeah, Fruitland, and people started calling him Hillbilly Hank, and
Yeah.
that was so funny.
Hillbilly
we
Hank.
spend so much time in Fruitland during the off season.
Is he still like Hillbilly Hank?
Oh my god, I think him and I both have some like Southern in us.
Is he more of a hillbilly than a hurricane?
Oh my god, no way. Like he wants to be Southern and like have some Western in him. He has nothing in him. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. I genuinely think I have a little Southern belle in me. Anyways, one of Hank's teammates and one of our like very best friends, Tyler Gurin, he's a tight end for Boise State football. His family has a ranch out in Fruitland. So Mama Jane, Papa Jason, they're the best people ever. They're like my parents away from home. Like they're amazing.
Sweet.
And so we'll just drive out there. It's only like a 45-minute hour drive out there. They have a ranch with a bunch of horses. We go out there, we're just riding horses,
Yeah.
going on the
You guys go shooting
ATV,
and
like
stuff?
shooting guns. Oh my God, it's so fun.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so much fun. They'll make us dinner, make some dessert and everything. And like, it's where we kind of go in the sense of like our home in Idaho,
Yeah.
because it's like the homemade meal. Tyler's parents are the best people ever. Like it's such like a family environment. Like Tyler will invite us literally to like their cousins' basketball games. And we're like, yeah, sure, we'll go,
That's pretty sweet.
So yes, we do spend a lot of time in Fruitland. I bought Hank some really expensive and really nice cowboy boots for his birthday last year.
That's cool.
He loves them. He also bought a custom cowboy hat that fits perfectly to his head. He really embraced it, like
It's probably a
but-
nice escape too, going to
Yeah.
Fruitland,
Oh my
especially
gosh.
for him being like
yes.
the face of Boise State.
Yeah.
I say, will he still get recognized out there though?
No, not really. Like it's such an escape. And I feel like it's really cool too because like Tyler's parents, like when we go out there, it's not like, oh my God, Hank Bachmeyer is coming over. It's like Hank's
Hank?
coming over,
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that like I am so passionate about, the whole like Hank versus Hank Bachmeyer conversation. I'm very passionate about it. I think it's because we've been together for so long and I knew him as Hank way before I knew him as Hank Bachmeyer. And I like hate it, but that's just kind of how it goes.
I didn't
But-
really think about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Everyone refers to him by his entire name here.
Yeah.
And you probably didn't hear that at all in high school.
Never,
Yeah.
never. No one ever cared. Like if we went out like and got milkshakes in Murrieta, like no one cared, you know? Like
Just
honestly,
Hank.
I was more known in Murrieta because my family had been there for so long that like I knew everyone in the city, you know?
Yeah.
But we come out here and like we literally, I remember our freshman year, we would go to Whitewater Park a lot our freshman year. Like after game weeks, it was kind of like our escape. Like we'd keep our phones in the car and just like make the big lap around Whitewater, like rent a canoe for a second and go and like canoe. And I remember our freshman year, it was the weekend after it was Florida State. Then we had a home game. It was the weekend after our home game. We literally got recognized every like 20 feet we would walk.
Damn.
I'm like, what is happening in my life? You know
Was
what I mean?
everyone saying full Hank Bachmeyer
Yeah.
too?
They're like, oh my God, Hank Bachmeyer. Like, you know, like great game yesterday. And I was like, what is happening? Like, is this
That's
normal? Like,
awesome.
I would look at him and like, there's no way this is happening. Because that was our freshman year. Like, I had never known any better. And he had never known anything else, you know?
Was he pretty like starstruck?
Yeah, I think he
Is
was
that the right
starstruck over
Like
himself at
culture
first.
shock, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was just more so a shock of like, wow, like people actually know my name. Like people know who I am. Like, and I think like at first, like it is cool to get recognized, of course. But another little like fact that a lot of people don't know is like he rarely wears Boise State gear in public.
I mean, why would you? You have to wear
Yeah.
it 24/7 when you're on
And
the field.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of like, sometimes he just wants to go out to dinner with me and not be like recognized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's when you have to go
Yeah.
out to like Fruitland for dinner.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, we're going to
Yeah.
Mountain Home.
All the gear they give you too is pretty noticeable that you're on
Oh,
the
yeah,
team,
they definitely
so-
make it
Totally,
known.
yeah. And I feel like it's one of those like things. Like if you recognize his face, but then he's wearing Boise State gear, you're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
sure
for
him.
sure.
You know. And I think it's really nice being able to go to the grocery store and not being stopped. Like
Yeah.
obviously it was cool at first, and I think it's still like cool, but
It's probably cool when like the little kids. do
oh
it.
my God,
that's
that's
probably
the
the coolest
cutest.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
literally the
That's
cutest.
when you're probably like, don't you want to notice me too? Like
I know,
I'm his
no.
girlfriend. Like
no, it's so cool. Like his coach, you know, they got a whole new coaching staff this year. And Coach Plow, he came from UC Davis. He's an amazing person and his family is so awesome. But he has 3 sons and 2 of them are like old enough to like know who Hank is. And it's so cute. Like they'll constantly like send us videos and being like, hey Hank, like when do you want to come over and like play catch with us? Like
oh, that's so cool.
and like they like fangirl over him and it's the
my God.
cutest
That's
thing. And they'll be
awesome.
like, hey Hank, like watch me like throw this like spiral. And I'm like, you know, it's like
That's so cool.
Right, my
it's
throw it.
so funny. It's so funny. And
That's
so
awesome.
but
What's,
like
uh,
that stuff is so cool to me.
Yeah. What's the craziest thing like you were there to like watch like a crazy fan like anything crazy
Like he pulled the Hank, like I'm Hank Bachmeyer, like like you need a table for 2. Oh, I got you, you
Oh
know.
my God.
Like
One
will
time-
you ever pull that, or like will they pull it on him? It's like, oh yeah, you're
Um,
Hank, like we got you.
I feel like okay, well, I'm very humble in the sense of the whole Hank Bachmeyer card. I hate pulling it because I'm like, we're normal people.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, we don't have to do that. Like, it's gonna be okay if we wait in line, you know? I don't really like that kind of stuff. I do remember the one time I got a speeding ticket, and after the cop handed me my ticket, he said, do you watch college football? And I'm like, really, bro? Like, you couldn't have pulled the Hank Bachmeyer card like before he handed me my ticket?
Oh, Hank said it to the cop.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah. And the cop was like, nope. Like the cop
Oh,
literally
man.
could care less. But still, like he tried to pull it in that sense, but I'm like, you really could have tried before I got my
Yeah.
ticket,
Yeah,
you know?
Before he handed, before he wrote
Yeah,
it.
but he handed it to me and then Hank asked him. And the guy literally does not watch college football. So I'm like, there you go. Like you just humbled yourself. Like you don't need to ask.
Have you like personally ever been like recognized at all? Because like
Yeah.
you've been on Barstool a couple times, right?
Yeah.
Like, the main bar, not Barstool Broncos, like
Yeah,
the main
Barstool Sports.
Yeah. For like
yeah.
different stuff too.
Right. Yeah. I've been recognized definitely. Like, for example, I was at Utah State 2 weekends ago, right? At the away game. And I was like walking by. And also I was wearing a jacket. So like if you saw my Instagram post or anything, like I did have a tank top on that said Bachmeyer on it, but I was wearing a jacket at this point. Like, so I had no like proof of that.
You weren't promoting it.
Exactly. But when we had first gotten to the game, I was walking by and I heard this little girl say to her mom, that's Hank's girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like things like that. And I'm like,
cool.
whoa, that is so weird. And like, I've also had like before football games and stuff, people will like come up to me and be like, oh my God, you're Hank's girlfriend. Like, could we take a picture? And like a bunch of people will get in like a picture with me or like, I've like
pretty
signed autographs before. Cause they're like,
Really?
you're Hank's girlfriend. Like, can you sign an autograph?
Yeah, you ever like, yeah, I'm a cheerleader too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, so I wasn't on the team my freshman year. So I went to all of the freshman year games as a fan.
She pulled the Hank card then.
And so, but I mean, I would never, but that was the same sort of thing. Like I wouldn't walk around being like, that's my
Yeah.
boyfriend. Like,
yeah.
sure, I would have a 19 on my beanie, but like, You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, if you know, kind of sort of thing. Some people would come up to me and be like, 19, like, whose number's that? And that's when I was awkward. I was like, oh, it's Hank. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Isn't that pretty weird to like?
Where'd you
think-
buy that?
Yeah. Isn't
Yeah.
that weird to think about like people have your autograph just randomly?
it's so
like,
weird.
It's like, what do you do with
Or
that?
like a picture of me.
Have you
Yeah.
have you perfected your autograph? It's always been like goes through my mind whenever I get like a like as a little kid like a sports
Oh,
like,
yeah.
fan. Like how do they perfect it? Like especially
my
on like a
God.
ball.
Yes.
It's like damn, like you have to do that over
No,
and over
I
and
think
over
I
again.
think they think the exact same thing. Like for me and my autograph, like my first name is cute to write, but like my last name, like
it's long.
it's long. A V in cursive is like just not cute. Like it's like a regular V with like a swirl on the side. Like what
Yeah.
is that? You know?
Takes a lot of time to make it too.
Yeah, but I think like athletes like Hank's too, like his has kind of always been the same, but like he used to do like number 19 and now it's just 19. And I'm like,
I
oh, where'd
got
the
lazy
number
with
sign
it.
go? Yeah. I'm like, where'd the number sign go? And he's like, I like the way it looks with just the numbers. You
losing
know?
his touch.
Yeah,
So I think they're all thinking the same thing of like, how do I make this look better? But
That's
and
cool.
like do it faster at the same time.
Yeah.
too.
yeah,
so they gotta go
exactly.
through
But
their
also
stuff.
like still putting in the effort. Like he
Yeah.
signs a lot of things, especially like our freshman year specifically. Like people used to, after the games, fans used to be able to go out onto the field.
yeah.
But like now we're not allowed to. Like
Yeah.
people
can't do anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember storming the field.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like they do like high fives after
Mountain
the
West
games.
when we won the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah,
That
it
was
so
so
fun.
sick.
Yeah.
The confetti everywhere. It
Yeah.
was so fun. Oh my god, that was so crazy. But yeah, things like that. So he used to sign a lot more balls or like sign like more like shirts or whatever. I remember he signed a kid's head one time. He used to hold babies. Like I have a picture of him. Like
Super funny.
I have a picture of him
Signed a
holding a
kid's
baby.
head.
Yeah. They're all crazy.
That's funny.
I'd feel so weird just writing on someone's
I
forehead.
like this is
just
so
like,
weird.
All right,
All
yeah.
right. Yeah.
A lot of people like taking pictures. A lot of people like coming up to like also something that people do too is like they'll know it's me and like Hank wouldn't even like this happened at Utah State actually. Like Hank hasn't even said hi to me yet and people recognize it's me and then they'll jump in front of me to go and say hi to Hank before me. And I'm like,
what they're gonna try
whoa.
and get Hank to break up with
I'm
you.
like the respect. Like
Yeah, chill out.
it's like the diehard fans. I'm like, okay, I know you know who I am. Like
Yeah.
doesn't mean you have to like take a picture before me.
Yeah, it's
Like,
let
that's
me at least
rude.
say hi.
They're like, you have enough pictures
Yeah.
with them, Jenna.
I know. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah,
like
you,
you,
get to
have
see
enough
them all the
pictures.
time. Like,
Yeah.
let
I
us
only
have
get this
them
30
for-
seconds.
Yeah. So, I mean, in that sense, it's like, well, okay, you know. I think it's more so like when it's intentional. Like if it's obviously unintentional, I'm like, yeah, totally. I'll take your pictures for you, you know. But
Yeah.
Did,
They look at you, make eye contact, and they're like, "Oh shit, I think that's her. Let's get in front of her."
they'll be like, oh, there she is. Let's go. You know.
You can kinda,
What is she doing here?
kind of switch up topics here. Did you and Hank ever like explore like anything outside of like football and mainline like Greek life or like I know like I know you do the UTP thing and like that's I mean I wouldn't that's technically class but it's like it's definitely extracurricular, you know, like in a sense because like the Bronco Day that wasn't like for class, like you know, like did you guys ever do it? Like, you know, Hank says Hank goes to Fruitland to escape. Yo, stop laughing. I like
I
had
just-
a good question and then I lost it. And then
No, I
like,
understand your question. I just like when you ask me questions because you know the answer to.
But I know, but like
But you like pretend not to know. That's why I'm laughing. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, my freshman year, I was in a sorority. It was nice because freshman year, like, I obviously came in a semester after Hank. Like I said, he graduated early, so he came up. It's kind of nice. He was like the guinea pig, made all of our friends. So when I got up here in August, I was like, sweet, I have my friends. You know, they all happen to be guys, and they all have to be on the football team. But so I ended up joining a sorority. It was nice because I was able to like make some friends that were actually girls and stuff. Also, it was cool. Freshman year, I had a lot of like other football girlfriends. It was cool because then like we would be friends and everything.
It's like the football moms. It's the football girls.
Oh my god, totally. Like, you know, wags uniting. But that was cool because then it was like, okay, instead of getting drunk before a game, like let's just go and watch the game and like actually know what's going on, you know? And so
Yeah.
things like that. And I feel like a lot of people were kind of on like the same page in that sense. But yeah, I was in Greek life my freshman year. Hank has never been in Greek life.
Did you ever consider it?
Yes, he has.
Really?
Yeah. Last year or sophomore year during Rush, he went to like the first like 2 events during, you know how your guys is like 5 days long or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
like campfire, like
Yeah,
Came
campfire,
to our-
food,
You know, our
pizza.
fraternities things or
I
other
don't- I
fraternities?
don't remember. I don't remember
Yeah.
what frats he went to,
I
but
don't remember
Okay.
either.
he did go to some of them. And because a couple of his other
So there's a couple football players in one of the
yes,
fraternities.
yeah, exactly. So he kind of did it with them, but his was more so as like a joke, and then I was basically like, hey, people are like trying to do this to like actually make friends, and you already have friends. Like, don't take someone's spot if it's just gonna be a joke to you, you know?
Okay, yeah. That
So
makes
even
sense.
if he
So-
went and got a bid, he just would have done it like for a joke, or was he actually interested in joining Greek life?
He was not interested.
I'm
I'm really sorry, but
But
that's also why I was like, hey, like some people are like
Yeah, that
freshmen,
is-
like coming up, like
Yeah.
they have no friends,
Just
like
desperate.
Definitely.
don't
Yeah.
take their spot as a brother. You know what I mean? I'm like,
For
let them
sure.
go to chapter. Like, you don't have time to go to chapter.
Yeah, as I
So.
say.
But yes,
That's cool.
Greek life is interesting.
Are you still a
At
part of
Boise
it?
State. No, I'm not. I'm not a part of Greek life anymore.
Just time commitment kind of thing?
Time. I also just like wasn't interested after like a little bit, you know.
And also, you kind of have the spirit,
Yeah.
the mainline spirit squad
Oh my
thing
God,
going
yeah,
too.
that's like my other sorority. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, it definitely
Um,
is. Like I'd say the football team is kind of a fraternity in
Oh,
itself too.
For sure.
Yeah.
So many brothers, all in a locker
A
room
lot of
together.
brothers.
Yeah, but Greek life, I ended up dropping when COVID happened because at that point it was like we're paying dues, we're not doing anything.
So were
Yeah.
you just in it for like a semester then?
Yeah, or almost. Yeah, so I dropped almost at the end of the second semester of my freshman year.
Oh,
So I was in it the whole first semester, and then I dropped, I think, in April or May of my second semester. So I didn't make it to the entire second one.
Right.
But
But so would
It
you
just wasn't
recommend
for
it
me.
for, like someone?
yeah, I mean, I recommend it for people in the sense of making friends. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I found a few good friends from my sorority, but I didn't find my best friend. However, I do know of people who have, and so I 1000% recommend it for people.
Yeah.
Like in the sense of making friends. Like I had 180 people in my sorority, so like they
That's
were.
so many fucking
Yeah,
people.
it was
That's
so
a
many
lot,
people.
yeah.
But now it's cool. Like I'll like randomly see them and they're like, "Hey Jenna," and I'm like, "Hey, like how's it going?" You know, like
Yeah.
stuff like that. And
Was
it's
ever like, hey Jenna, like who are you?
no,
Did
it's
you ever get hate from them for dropping?
no. I didn't tell anyone.
Okay.
Wow.
I told my big, and then my big dropped right after me. We went out with a bang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've heard that, like with a
Big
lot
little.
of girls though, they like stayed for like 2 semesters and then they'll end up just leaving, and it's like
I've noticed, yeah.
a few
Yeah.
like it's like the few that stay on like e-board or something are the ones
Yeah.
that are the old heads in it.
Yeah.
Because sororities always have like 200 fucking members, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like
So many. I didn't even know half
Yeah.
their names at one point.
Yeah.
80% of them are all new members.
Yeah.
I was
it's
about to say,
okay.
like, I think like when they post like Instagram, like, oh, who graduated? There's like 10 of them.
It's
Oh
like
my
a
gosh.
10.
And
like-
my PC was huge. It was like, I remember them telling me like it was like the biggest PC that they had taken in a while. Like there
That's
were
crazy.
so many people just in my PC.
like
That's
50
nuts.
plus or
I think it was like 80 if I'm not even
Oh,
wrong.
Goodness.
Like there
Wow.
were so many, and like we had 180 people in my sorority when I
Imagine
was
having
there.
80 people that like you had to manage.
It
and,
was
like,
so
take care of.
many.
just like
um,
doubled in size.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like nice for the time being, and like it definitely like created a familiar face. Like college is weird. Like you're leaving home. Like you're not.
Yeah.
You don't have like your people that you've literally gone to elementary school with anymore.
True.
And that's really weird. And so I think coming to college and honestly knowing as many people as you can makes it feel so much more comfortable.
That also kind of brought like like the social aspect too. Like
Totally.
you said, like you go to the facility like 4 hours before like
Yeah.
the football players even get there.
Yeah.
So like that freshman year, you got. I mean, it was pre-COVID, so I'm sure you got to experience
Yes.
the tailgater too.
Yes.
Do you like now that you're mainline, do you like miss that or like
Not at all.
like at all?
Not
one
at
bit?
all. No.
You got it out of the way. Now
Yeah.
you're.
I'm fine.
Cool. You didn't like tailgating at all, or just like
I
you-
mean,
you
honestly-
had your fun and now
Okay,
you don't
I'm not
need
gonna
it?
lie to you. Frat parties scare me. Frat backyards scare me even more.
The
Like
backyards.
I just like like tailgates how they're in the backyard. Which
I
is
like
kind of
them in
weird.
the- I like them outside way better than inside.
it's a lot more
Inside I
cooler
get
outside.
claustrophobic.
I don't know. I'm also very I need to be with people who I'm comfortable with. So if I have like one person by my side, but there's like 200 people around me who I have no idea who they are, I definitely am like a little bit more guarded
Yeah.
compared to like when I'm with people on my dance team. Like there are 19 of us.
Well, you also now have
You
the
know?
best seat in the house.
Oh
so
my gosh, for
You
sure.
can't really complain.
No, you literally cannot complain. Like I literally watch touchdowns happen right in front of me.
Yeah.
Like I almost just got hit by a ball the other day. Like a girl on my team literally got hit by a ball a couple weeks ago. Like that doesn't happen. Like that is so cool. You know what I mean?
That is pretty
Like,
nice.
did she get like pegged or like?
No, it wasn't bad. It wasn't
Oh,
bad.
okay.
I actually thought
Sure.
how funny it would be if like Hank threw a ball and I got hit and like say it knocked me out. Like I think that'd be so funny.
Oh, that'd be
Like,
viral
imagine
for
the
sure.
story.
He'd probably be, like, he would not know what to do. I feel
Oh my
like
God.
he'd probably, be like,
He would
"Oh
probably
my
laugh it
God."
off and
Hank
just like,
knocks
you know,
out his
next play,
girlfriend.
race car. Get there faster.
Yeah.
Fuck, I just lost my train of thought. I was gonna ask you something. Oh, have you ever seen like someone in the crowd? Because obviously you guys are like halfway like looking at the crowd.
Yeah.
Halfway looking at the
We're
game.
mostly looking at the crowd, honestly.
Have you ever seen like something like super like funny or like in the crowd happen, like, or like, you know, has anyone like have to sign for like the spirit squad or anything like that? You know what I'm saying? Like
People falling down Boise.
yeah, like you ever notice like people falling down the stairs?
Yeah,
or
I
anything?
see a lot of drunk people in front of me. We do face the crowd a lot, like majority of the time. The only time we are not facing the crowd is when a play is happening on offense. So even in between offensive plays and during all of defense, like we are not allowed to look at the field. Like I literally am like waving to the crowd while my head is like looking at the big screen, like trying to see what's happening. You know what I mean?
Oh, wait. You can't look at all while the play's
Not
going
really. We're trying to hype up the crowd. And
Dang.
we're on defense a lot. You know,
Yeah.
like I feel like a majority of a football game, like the team is on defense, it feels like.
Yeah.
That's just how it feels at
Yeah,
least. Like that
right.
might not be like a statistically kind of thing, but that's just how it feels.
Sure.
Honestly, like because drives, like offensive drives, like really aren't that long. So, but anyways, I've definitely seen a bunch of drunk people, but also where we are cheering is in front of the corral.
Oh, it's
And
the
the
hypest
corral
part.
is hype. Corral is dedicated. They are the first people there and the last people to leave. They paint their chests that say Go Broncos on it. They even put like people with like nothing on their chest because they're like the spaces in between Go Broncos and like the exclamation point. Like you see it all, but those are the people who are hype, and those people are definitely like more sober to understand like what's going on in the game because they're the ones who are being like, okay, get loud,
Yeah.
they're down. And then they're
Yeah.
like, okay, guys, be quiet. Like, we're on
Yeah.
offense now.
And
So,
I'd say definitely like, I think this might not be like directly at you, but like, I think your like team Spirit Squad, I think you guys have like maybe one of the best like college fan bases.
oh
Or,
my
like
God,
stadiums that cheer, like, you know, only Blue Field, only like really professional, technically sports
exactly.
team in Idaho.
I think that's huge.
Like, that's
Idaho
gnarly.
doesn't have anything
Yeah.
else besides Boise State. And that's something that I love so much about Boise State is like, people from here don't consider it a college town. I 1000% consider it a college
Oh,
town.
big time.
I feel like the people who say it's not are the people who are from here and they're like born here and used to it. And they're like, what do you mean? You know, but it definitely is like, what other city like shuts down and everyone is wearing blue and orange on game day? Like
Yeah.
only college towns are like that, you know, like,
people are pulling up in RVs that are decked out.
oh
in
my God,
Boise
it's
State.
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
tailgating, the parking lots open 4 hours before kickoff as well. And that's what time we get there. And you see people getting there 6 hours before kickoff. And like, they're like, parking lots aren't even open. They're like, we don't care.
Oh, that
Like-
one morning we had
Gotta
that
be first in line.
that 10:30 game. I was driving through campus at like
Yeah.
8,
Oh
and
my
there were
God.
already people with easy ups like
Oh,
going
for
hard.
sure.
I'm like, it's
And
8:30.
Those tailgates, like the thing is a lot of students don't go to tailgating. It's mostly parents. It's mostly like fans.
Oh, like right next to
Well,
the stadium.
yeah,
Yes,
we don't
like
go to tailgating
actual
on campus.
tailgating.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I would say majority of students go to like houses to pregame or tailgate or things
Right.
like that. Like
For sure.
students don't go to the actual tailgates outside of the stadium,
Uh-huh.
and they are insane.
Yeah.
Like
They're
I really, really wish that students like the Boise State student like
Got a
started
space.
to tailgate outside of the stadium.
They're supposed to
Like,
get a space.
I
hopefully.
think it'd be so hype. I think it would be so cool, and that atmosphere is unlike any
It's
unreal
unreal.
tailgating
Those
party.
rowdy there, yeah.
Those ones are
It's
way more
crazy.
insane.
Like some people, because so basically how tailgating works at Boise State is you pay for a parking spot, and you can like decorate that parking spot. Like
It's
some people
yours.
will have 4 parking spots. They have like 5 big screen TVs. They have like 5 easy ups set
Yeah.
up. They have like so much food that it could literally feed the entire football
Oh,
team.
if you walk through there, everyone offers
It's
you food.
gnarly,
the
yeah.
best. It's
Crazy.
probably the best part about
But
leaving
it's
the game.
so much fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, God, I wish like students could come and experience this. Cause I feel like that was also a reason why I wasn't like, I'm not mad about not being able to tailgate with students for game days anymore. Is cause like now I see
Now you see
Yeah.
what's
all of
way
these
better.
people,
That's
and I'm
what's
like,
My,
this is
yeah,
so cool.
my roommate's parents have a tailgate spot, and
Yeah.
it's crazy. They're
They go hard.
they're more drunk than we are. I want to
Oh,
say.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So
Oh,
much.
They have
food,
so
like-
much fun.
Yeah,
It
they get
smells
rowdy.
good.
Yeah.
It's like barbecues all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh, it's some of the best food
Yep.
ever.
All the
And
coaches' wives are out there too. Like they all have this like one spot that they all go to.
you guys get to walk through, right, Jenna?
yeah, we
You
sell
guys-
calendars. We sell Spirit Squad calendars, but
Like door-to-door sales, Dane.
oh my God, for sure. There's also a tailgating spot for all of the football families. So
That's
like
cool.
for parents weekend, like my parents ended up going to it and stuff. And it's like all of the football parents, like, you know, all of like those kinds of people. And they have like food set up and they make a bunch of food, make a bunch of sweets and all that kind of stuff.
Is it like kind of closed off in an area? Or
It's right next to, it's
on
not
that backside?
exclusive technically. Like anyone could technically go to it, but I think everyone kind of pitches in some money to like
Yeah,
help
probably,
support
like
for the food.
potluck.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
that type
but
of
it's
stuff.
right outside of the facility. So where Bronco Walk ends, like right outside of the football facility, is where their tailgate is, and it's so cool. Like that's where I go and sell a lot of my calendars. I'm like, buy it, please.
Yeah.
Um,
Buying it definitely.
I got one last question, just kind of about the tailgate. Like,
Okay.
have you ever been? Probably not. Have you been inside? What's that? It's like the football team's like facility essentially. You know that
Blameyer?
buil- Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Where it's like
Blameyer
this-
Football Complex.
The little
yeah,
small
like-
one, like that has that weird. Is it?
And
the
it's
weight
like
room?
really exclusive to go into, and like,
Uh-huh.
is it like, you know, are they like partying? I mean, probably not partying, but like, you know, are they like pretty hype before the game? Have you ever been in there before a game?
Oh, I have not been in there before a game because no one's in there before a game.
Yeah.
Because like you know, obviously it's like I don't see Hank from, like I said, the
Yeah, like you said.
day before until after the game usually. I don't know what pregame looks like. Obviously, media films a lot of like post game. Like you saw probably Andy Avalos like giving a speech after BYU in the
Yeah,
locker room, and
that
they're
was
always
gnarly.
hyping at those big games and everything that they win. It's similar kind of stuff, but pregame wise, I think it's very structured, and I think a lot of the hype happens when, honestly, students have probably never even been there this early, but when the team is warming up on
Yeah,
the
I
field
remember being
prior.
freshman year. It was
Yeah,
so
no,
much fun
Yeah.
to watch them warm
They're
up.
like playing such good music. Like it's only like the diehards are there at that point. Like the team's warming up. Like it's still like not even super late in the day yet because like, you know,
Yeah.
kickoff hasn't happened
Yeah.
yet. And that's like so much fun. Like that's probably like one of my favorite parts of game day is like when like as a dancer, like we go out and we set our water bottles down and we're like getting set to start performing pregame. And this is probably like 45 minutes before kickoff. And that's like the
That's so
coolest part.
cool.
It's so fun.
Yeah,
But-
they do have the best music during pregame.
Oh my God, it's so fun.
Yeah.
But the football facility, yes, it's very exclusive. And quite honestly, freshman year, I used to go in there constantly. Like I have literally been in that
I've
facility.
always wanted to go in there.
It's so sick. It's so cool in there. Like I remember, like to me now, it's a lot more like, okay, cool. Like it's more normal. But I swear the first like 20 times I went in there, I was like fangirling.
Is their locker room dope? I just watched a video
Oh
of
my God,
Bama's
yeah.
locker room, and they have like
Yeah.
individual pods and like changing colored lights and
Yeah.
like personalized lockers. I'm like,
Yeah, they all
damn.
have their own locker. They all have like their nameplate above it. It says like their name, their position, where they're from, and like a picture of them, like their ESPN picture and stuff.
That's so sick.
They all have their own like lockers. I really like in the locker room, there's this like huge Bronco head like on the ceiling, and that's like shining down like on like the actual
So
locker
is it
room.
lit up?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's like a lit up like Bronco head, and it's not like painted on the ceiling or anything. It's like an actual like
like metal.
3D like light kind of
That's-
sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
The front room is my favorite room of the whole facility. It's basically like you can Google this room from in the facility. Like there's a lot of pictures of this one, but it's that like glass, like floor to ceiling, like window sort of room.
Is it
in
like the
front.
lobby where their uniforms are?
Yes, I love it.
That's what like honestly hypes up the facility. When you like
Yeah.
go by that, you're like,
Oh my
that
God.
looks so sick
It is
inside.
so gorgeous. Like that was the place where I would walk in every time. I was like, this is crazy. Like
That's
it's
cool.
all of their like old uniforms. Like so the uniforms that they would wear for when they won like Fiesta Bowl, things like that. Like and then they have some trophies in there. Most of the trophies are in the Hall of Fame on campus, but they have some trophies in there. They have like all of their opponents. They basically have like a map and all of their opponents that they like have coming up. So it'd be like 2025, like whatever school, you know what I
They
mean?
already have
And
that
like,
planned out.
yeah, they
Oh.
plan so early in advance.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
like
Yeah.
I know my freshman year roommate, he knew that like literally the schedule for this year when we were freshmen.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, we're playing OSU's coming
Yeah,
to the
that's
blue.
Oklahoma State. That's why this game was so huge, was because they literally scheduled it like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Because like they already have, I'm pretty sure like 2028 scheduled.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I
Because
think
they'll do
5
like
years out.
2-game series kind of
Yeah.
thing. We'll do like, okay, you're gonna play in 2023 and 2028.
Because I don't think it's like the whole schedule. I think it's like
Yeah,
oh,
it's
when,
big
when
ones.
we
yeah.
sign up with UCF or
Yeah.
BYU.
No.
Besides
non-conference.
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
not a conference.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So it's obviously anyone not in Mountain West, but like
Yeah.
UTEP, Oklahoma State, Florida State, like
UCF,
all of
yeah.
those
BYU's
ones.
not in our
Yeah.
conference, right?
No.
What's that?
BYU's not in our
No,
conference.
they're
non-conference.
independent.
Yeah.
Or they got accepted to Big 12, I think.
They did.
That's what I hear
Yeah,
for
next
next
year.
season.
What about us, Jenna? You hear anything about Boise State? Can you say?
I've sat in on so many meetings, and everyone's just like, we have no idea. Like I've literally heard Jeremiah Dickey talk.
Well, that's the reason why we
Multiple
expanded the
times.
blue, right? That was like a qualification, wasn't it? Is that your field had to go from border to border of the stadium, in order to qualify
maybe.
for like
I think
that conference.
Another big thing is sellouts, and I think that's why Jeremiah Dickey was really, really pushing. We're gonna have 6 sellout games this year, was because if you start selling out, then that brings more
They want the money. They want the
attention.
sponsors. All of it.
Yep, it brings more attention to your stadium in the sense like, oh, we need to be on a bigger scale. Like we are selling out all of our tickets. Like notice BYU just sold out another game against us. Like I saw the number. It was like 63,740 fans.
They're gonna have to expand the
Screaming.
stadium.
Guys, that place was so loud. Like literally no one understands. Like
we had a
Sweet.
oh
we had
my
a friend
God.
that went.
We
and
had
he
like
said
our
it was the
little
loudest ever.
sliver of like Boise State fans, and I'm holding a get loud noise. And I'm like, come on, guys, like get loud. And like they're all just staring at me. And then literally it's like first down and like we're on offense and BYU's on defense. And that place like rattles your ears. Like it is insane.
Really? Is it just more like
Oh my
like
God.
a dome, like all the
Well,
sound
they
just
got
stays in or
nothing else to
something?
do down there.
Yeah.
Nothing. And they're all sober.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah,
but
they are.
still, it's so loud in there.
I bet.
And it's like, it goes super high up, but you know how Boise State Stadium is like 2 different tiers? Like it's like the first tier and the second tier, but
Yeah.
obviously we only hold like 35,000 fans. So they
yeah,
hold
30.
double the amount, but they basically have one huge tier going all the way up. It is
Damn.
massive.
Students couldn't make it up that
I
far.
say,
Oh
I
my
couldn't
God.
imagine being
That
hammered
place is
climbing it.
crazy loud. It was insane. I'm like, people,
sweet.
like this is what you don't see on TV. Is like how loud these people are.
For sure.
It was crazy.
We had a buddy that went. Shout out Noel, but yeah, he said it was literally the loudest game out of professional games.
my
He
God.
said it was the loudest place he's ever
Yeah.
been.
I literally have never heard anything like that
Couldn't
before.
even imagine.
Like they didn't even need to be like, come on guys, like get loud. It was just like roar.
Well, especially because
Crazy.
they were ranked number 10 at the time too, so there's all that excitement,
Oh my
big
gosh.
Not
rivalry.
anymore.
It was
Yeah, not
crazy.
anymore. But
That place was crazy, seriously.
I was gonna try to wrap up by asking like, so overall, how's your college experience been so far?
Yeah.
But it sounds pretty fucking sick.
Oh
so
my God, it's so
Yeah.
fun.
you know, you kind of answered that question.
Yeah.
Also, she has a podcast too.
I
yeah, that's what
do.
I was trying to work out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got in Speak Boise too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go through Speak Boise. It's me and my co-host Lexi Almedo. She's also on Mainline with me, but it's called Hold the Mic. We go through Speak Boise, so obviously you can like listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, through Speak Boise, or if like I've found that if you just Google Hold the Mic Sports Podcast, like you can listen from literally anywhere. But yeah, it's really cool.
Nice. Yeah. And get time for the ad read.
Sure.
Yeah. This podcast is helped made possible with Speak Boise. Speak Boise is Boise's largest podcast network that allows anyone to speak and be heard. They offer all types of ways to start podcasting, including video, live streaming, and audio-only options. So if you're interested in wanting to start your own podcast, go to @SpeakBoise on Instagram or www.speakboise.studio. Speak and be heard with Speak Boise.
True.
There it is.
True.
Well, yeah, we really appreciate you coming on.
Oh my God.
I think
Thanks
this
for
was
having me.
had to
Yeah,
be our
thank you.
longest episode.
Oh yeah, it's our longest for sure. I think it's our best so far. Not gonna lie, it's a good interview.
Thank
Yeah.
you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm seriously like honored to be like, first girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exciting.
thank you
Sure.
for coming for sure.
Yeah, this is pretty sick. So yeah, go check out her podcast
At Hold the Mic.
at Hold the Mic.
Follow us on Instagram at
Yes.
You Never Know Podcast.
True.
Yep. And until next time, you never know.